It says, it's showtime. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Hey, everybody. How's it going, everyone? So we are going to do a little Globex prep here, a little work for tomorrow morning. And we're going to be recording this. It'll be recorded and you guys can take a look at this stuff. But we're live streaming right now on Facebook, 2 different Facebook channels, the YouTube channel, and of course, X. And let's see, I've got some people texting me here. Clubhouse. All right. All right. So the Globex prep. So if you have your TrendCloud system, if you've got your TrendCloud system, go over to indicators, invite only, and then you can bring up your Globex trap indicator, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to block out, you see these boxes here? It's going to box out for you the pre-market, all right? So that's basically pre-market stuff, pre-market information. And it's a great tool because you can look back, okay, and I'm on the S&P, the full contract of the S&P here, and you can look back and you can see the pre-market, okay? So we've got right here, Wednesday, March 27th, 1800 hours, and then it ends right here on the 28th, 8:45 in the morning. Hey, Frank, how's it going? All right, good, awesome. Yeah, so a very useful tool, right? Very useful tool for you to box out the pre-market data, like what went on pre-market. Hey, Graham, what's going on? You're trading the Australian markets. Oh, very good. Oh, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I know Krishnan is also focused on the Australian market. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, real good stuff. This here is going to box out that pre-market data. And if you see here, you see these purple numbers up here, 37, 24, 50. That is all recorded inside here of the Globex trap. And you can see right here, we have it set at 75. And so if you get a reading of above 75, it's going to turn the box purple. Okay. And so what that means basically is, see how it pretty much stayed up here the entire time. By the time we got here, it's over 79%. That means it went 79% of its daily average true range. Okay, the average true range is what we use on here. Highlight level. Let's see if it's in here. No. Okay, so it just says like highlight level 75. Okay, ATR period, right? Average true range period 14. That means 14 candles back. And it's a way to look at this and say, okay, well, during the pre-market hours here, it already traveled 79% of its average true range. Therefore, we probably won't have very much more downward movement here. You can see it went down a little bit more and then went sideways and broke to the upside, right? Pretty interesting, right? It's just another piece of information. It's just another piece of information that you can use to add to your trade plan, to add to your decision-making process. That's all. That's what TrendCloud is really built for. It's to give you information about your decision-making process. So that's what we want to have. So far, if we look at what we've got so far, it's just 39%. So far, price has gone 39% of its average true range. So we've got, a lot more to go. Pre-market yesterday, only 35%. So by the time we had the market open, right? By the time we had the market open, here's 9:15. It continued up, right? And we get this really deep pullback. All the way down to this drop-based rally. And then it went and hit new heights, right? Pretty cool. That's really good information. Why don't we just take a look? We'll take a look back here. 50% average true range. And what did it do? Here's the open, right? 9 o'clock. Here's the open. What does it do? It breaks to the downside and keeps going, right? Into the next day. Keeps going into the next day. And then what do we see? 79%. We're getting pretty close there. And what does it do? It runs out of steam. All right. So that's the gist of this. Let's drop a vertical axis line right there on this 15-minute chart. And let's take a look and see. Okay. Look at this, guys. Look at how, let me get rid of that. Look at how price pulls back into this demand zone, right? Pulls back into this demand zone and takes off. Look at where your momentum is on both time frames there. CCI indicator above positive 100. That means we've got a strong uptrend. Look at how we are in a downtrend, right? We are in a downtrend. And it pulls back, right? It breaks above, first of all, breaks above that 50, pulls back really deep with all this momentum on its side. So it's actually pulling back into this demand zone. Let's make it green, with very strong upward momentum. Okay. 15-minute demand zone, 1 hour momentum. Okay. Very interesting observation, right? What other information do we have? Well, right at this point, we are also cycling up on the 4-hour chart. And we also have our momentum filter in the green. So what are all of the pieces of information that we have regarding this entry point here in this demand zone? What do we have? Number one, on this chart here, we've got a drop-based rally. We have a formation, right? We've got a formation that broke through structure. A formation that broke through structure right there. Okay? Beautiful. All right. What else do we have? We've got the CCI momentum on our side above positive 100. And that is really the key for taking any demand zone, is it not? That's really the key, especially because this is the 15-minute chart demand zone with the 1 hour CCI momentum indicator. Remember, this is a momentum-based trading system. So you really want to get a good handle on how price moves within your TrendCloud system. And you want to make sure that any pullbacks into a demand zone are going to have momentum on your side. And then you start adding the other information, right? So in this particular case, we have a really nice 15-minute formation that broke structure. That's number one. We've got the higher time frame momentum on our side going up. We've got the highest time frame cycle indicator going up, and we've got the highest time frame momentum going up. Okay, so we've got 4 pieces of information, saying, hey, you know what? This is a good edge. Okay. So remember, an edge doesn't have to be this monumental edge where it's like, oh, we've got, we've got this massive leverage, it doesn't, an edge is simply an advantage. It's not, it doesn't have to be some monumental thing, So we've got 4 pieces of information here. We've got the demand zone, we've got the higher time frame momentum, and we have the highest time frame cycle and momentum as well. So we've got 4 pieces of information across multiple time frames. Hey, that's powerful stuff. Okay. And it gave this, it gave this demand zone here the highest probability of success. It gave it the highest probability of success. So very nice. Let's see. Is there, do we have any ADR? Oh, and look at that. Okay. Look what we've got here. Look at what we've got here. We've got an ADR checkpoint right smack in the middle of that demand zone. That's another piece of information. That's another piece of information. Okay. You know what I'm going to do next, right? Looking on this 15-minute chart, here's the swing low, here's the swing high. Let's grab Fibonacci and see if we can get some more information out of this. Swing low to swing high. Here's the pullback, and look at how it hits that 886 right to the tick. Right to the tick, okay? Pulls back, hits that 886 retracement level. This is adding to your edge, right? So these are considered levels of support, right? The level of imbalance is the demand zone, right? This drop base rally that broke through structure here, that's considered a level of imbalance. The ADR checkpoint and the Fibonacci retracement level, those are levels of support. That's more mass psychology. Hey, Kazi, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. So, it's all about building your case for entry, building your case for this entry. And, when this pullback was taking place, we were definitely, against the trend, right? We were against the trend. But the movement that was made was, we don't know what's going to happen after this, right? We don't know what's going to happen after this. That's right. Yeah. The very first TrendCloud Globex prep session, the very first. You are witnessing the very first. This is a monumental event here at TrendCloud Trading. So very, very interesting stuff. Building that case for entry, and really utilizing what you know about technical analysis, and looking at it across multiple time frames. So we've got a level of imbalance. We've got support levels with an ADR checkpoint, came pretty close to that ADR checkpoint. Hits the 886 Fibonacci retracement level. Wow. Like, that's a lot of information. So again, the points of structure here, right? Demand zone, really nice demand zone that breaks through structure. Number one, we've got 2 levels of support here. Okay, we've got a support level on the same time frame, Fibonacci 886 retracement point and ADR checkpoint. Okay, then we move to the 1-hour chart, and we've got CCI on our side. That's number 3. CCI on our side. Move to the highest time frame. You've got the cycle indicator on your side, and you've got the high time frame momentum. That's 5 pieces of information stacked, right? I think 5 is a good number. You know, if you can find 5 pieces of information in a demand zone, I think you got yourself one hell of a winning trade. And maybe I shouldn't say a winning trade, but you've got a very high probability trade. Let's put it that way, right? Remember, we will never know the sequence of wins and losses. We will never know the sequence of the flip of the coin, right? How many times is this thing going to show up heads? How many times is it going to show up tails? We'll never know the sequence of that. There's no mathematical formula for that. But what we can do is trade what we see. And what we are seeing is information stacked on top of each other. So, you know, I think if you go after supply and demand zones, specifically going after supply and demand zones on that 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart, whatever, the idea is find some kind of support in that demand zone wherever you can find it. If we put TrendCloud back on here, I mean, look at how we're below the 50. Maybe we've got the 100 or the 200 on here. Nope, we don't have that. And we know that we only like using the 100 and 200 simple on the highest time frame, right? We really only use that on the highest time frame. And look where we're at here. We're right at that 100 simple bouncing off of it, right? Or you know, we're in that area. So even though we're against the higher time frame, trends, this is a level of imbalance that broke structure. There is definitely some support levels here. Fibonacci, ADR checkpoint. The next highest time frame over from that 15-minute chart, we like to use the 1 hour, and the 1 hour momentum indicator that we use is CCI because it's specifically built for commodities. Why not use it? If this thing was built specifically designed for commodities, my goodness, use the damn thing, right? So, and it's relatively new. I mean, this guy programmed this back in 1980, this mathematician. This is Dr. Richard, oh God, what was his name? Lambert, Richard Lambert, yeah. So we are above positive 100. And does everybody understand that during this, like right here, I'll put that line back on there. There's the pullback. See how we broke above positive 200? Here's positive 100, positive 200. We broke above both, pulls back into that blue shaded area. It never even breaks below the 0 line. Here's the dotted 0 line right here, okay? It never even breaks below that 0 line. Beautiful. Any pullback into a demand zone and you see that, start stacking information. Start stacking that information. Okay, do we have a level of support? Oh yeah, there we go. 886. We've got ADR there as well. We broke above positive 200. We've pulled back into the demand zone, and we are above the 0 line. And oh, look at this. We've got the cycle indicator on the highest time frame going up, as well as momentum. Look at that green momentum there. All right, so your momentum filter is green. You're cycling up. on the highest time frame. Momentum is up on the middle time frame, and we're pulling back into a demand zone that has support levels inside of the demand zone, which broke structure. Like, what more do you want? You know, those are 5 key points, 5 key elements to look for in your demand zone. And TrendCloud, that's the entire TrendCloud system right there in a nutshell. Okay, that's the entire TrendCloud system right there. So if we start looking at these Globex, these pre-market, you know, levels here, these pre-market Globex areas, you can see so far we're just at 39%, right? So where are we at right now? We're in an uptrend on the S&P, right? We're in an uptrend on that 15-minute chart. Momentum is still up. We're on our side, and we've broken above that. We've broken above the trend. We broke above that 1 hour trend. Candles are green. We've got the crossover here. Now, let's get rid of all this. Where are we going to head into trouble? Well, look what we've got here. Okay, right here, I'm going to box this out. Let's box this out like this right here. Okay, make it red. Consolidation. Okay, and on the highest time frame, this would be considered. Well, we've got a level of imbalance because that is a supply zone. Okay, let's take a good look at the 4-hour chart here. I guess we can call this a drop, base drop. All right, that's legit, right? So that's definitely a level of imbalance. You know, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, 4 basing candles. It did break structure right here. Right? It did break structure right here. Drop, base, drop, broke structure, pulling back into that zone. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if we break through this demand zone? This is in your TrendCloud masterclass. This is in the technical analysis masterclass. If we end up breaking through this, we're going to break through a formation that broke structure. That means there's a possibility that we go to here and even break through that. This is going to cause a lot of pressure to the upside if this gets broken, okay? And we've got this right here. Rally, base, drop, which also broke structure. So we have 2 very strong formations here that we're going to be running into. 2 very strong formations that we'll be running into, okay? And that is something that we're running into right now, right? We've pulled up, we've hit that. But looking at the Globex trap, okay, we still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. Here's the first ADR checkpoint. Okay, maybe this travels all the way up to here, hits this, and then starts to reverse. We'll have to see. So it's good that this is going to run overnight. It's good that this is going to run overnight. It's going to give us a lot of information. We do have momentum on our side. We do have momentum on our side. We are cycling up. The only thing we have against us, which we have to watch, are the levels of resistance, which is the high time frame 50, right? Let's make a line. Here's the high time frame 50 right here inside of this level of imbalance. This is a supply zone. So we've got to see what kind of decision is made overnight. Maybe this breaks above, does a little sideways move, and then we hit this and start to reverse. Okay, but as of right now, all of the big picture here is that we're going to start breaking through these zones. We have more on the table here to the upside, right? We've got more data pointing to the upside. Okay, so let's let it react to this stuff. We're going to let it react to to these supply zones. Maybe it's going to bounce back and forth. We don't know. We can say maybe all night long, right? You don't know. All we can do is trade what we see, and that is what we're seeing. Let's go to the Dow. Dow has only gone 25%. Okay, Dow, little bit weaker, right? A little bit weaker on the Dow. We're starting to cycle down on the high time frame. We are still in a downtrend. Look at how on the Dow, we do not have a break of trend like the S&P. S&P is stronger. We already have that upward trend on the 1 hour chart. We don't have that on the Dow. So the Dow is still lot more mixed signals on the Dow. Let's just put it that way. So not like in the Dow. How about the NASDAQ? Okay, here we go. NASDAQ is looking good to the upside, right? It's gone 46%. It's gone a little bit further of its ATR, right? Average true range. So the NASDAQ is actually looking very strong. We've even broken through structure here. So momentum's on our side. We now have trend on our side. And if we go look at the high time frame, what did it do? It slammed right into the 50 simple on the highest time frame, right? Inside of this level of the supply zone. Okay. So we really need to see this break through the supply zone. Where do we take a chance on this? Well, we've got this right. Oops. We've got this right here on the NASDAQ, right? We got TrendCloud signals too, right? We've got TrendCloud signals that started 1600 hours, 1800 right here, and went from here to here, and we got this rejection candle. Maybe it pulls back and retests this area. Not sure. So, if it does pull back right now, we're actually in a good position to take this, to take something here. What's that going to cost us? Buy one. Look at how expensive that is on the full contract. That's $560 on the full contract, right? So let's drop down to the micro NASDAQ. Okay, it's the same thing. And, here we go. Let's box it out on the 1 hour chart right there. Let's go all the way to here. And we can take a small risk on this. $130. And high time frame. We can set it up just like that. I would be all in, all out. I'm sure you guys would agree. Being that this is a major level of supply, right? This is definitely a supply zone. So if it pulls back, we could find support inside of this demand zone. We've got the 15-minute 50 simple. We're inside of a 1 hour demand zone. We've got momentum on our side. We've got cycle on our side. We've got momentum also on the high time frame. There's a lot of stuff. Pointing in our favor, right? We could take a small risk on that, and being that we're going to go to sleep and wake up in the morning, I wouldn't want to let that run. I would be all in, all out on that. If you don't, what you can do, you can't see, you can't scale out of the trade until you're in the trade on the TradingView platform. You can do it, I believe. You can do it on NinjaTrader. You can do it on NinjaTrader. Like, I can set this trade up on NinjaTrader where if it hits my entry point, it puts the stop in and it puts one contract target here and another contract target up here. Can't do that on TradingView, unfortunately. So we would have to wait. We can do this on TradingView, and we can say, okay, during the night, if this thing pulls back, hits this zone, then we can, be all in, all out there. It may just take off, without us here, but we can set that up for overnight. Let's take a look at the Russell, and then we'll call it quits, guys. We're just going to do a half hour. Okay, so the Russell, same thing. We've got momentum and cycles on our side on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Hey, that's pretty powerful. We do have, we're not as strong as the NASDAQ, right? Because NASDAQ is already in full uptrend and the S&P is already in full uptrend. But on the Russell, we're just starting. Is that no, those candles are still yellow. See, I love TrendCloud for that. I love how TrendCloud is letting us know, hey, these candles are still yellow. We haven't transitioned from downtrend to uptrend. So not as strong. So there you go. There you go. Let's go back here to the S&P. Okay, let's see if we can. Here's rally base rally on the S&P. Really nice rejection candle here, right? Big rejection candle. 15-minute zone right here. So if you wanted to set that up, I think we can only do like 2. Oh, no. Yeah. So there you go. Pulls back, maybe hits that 50. The 15-minute zone here is actually really tight, isn't it? Drop, base, 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 rally. Okay. All right. It's either going to work or it's not going to work, right? There's no sense in, oh, should I put this, here or here? It's gotta work within reason, right? It's got to work within reason. And we can put the target. Okay, see where I'm choosing to put my target, guys? The body of the candle here. Body of the candle. Actually, we can use the body of this candle right here, pull it in a little closer, right? So it's a $63 risk, and we've got $120 right there. Maybe it'll pull back and hit that, the risk is valid, right? Why is this valid? Well, let's put Fibonacci, swing low. Okay, so we got swing low to swing high. Okay, we're right in between the 382 and the 5. And if we go swing low to swing high on this swing, we've got some ratio. They call that ratio confluence. All right. So I took the swing from here all the way up to here. And then I took the smaller swing that created this drop base rally, bottom of the basing candle to the top of the rally. And we got, see what we get here. So we've got some levels of support in there. Okay. So we got levels of support. We've got momentum on our side. We have trend on our side. It's either going to work or it's not, right? So if we pull back to this demand zone, it's very possible that we make a nice move and, you know, we can make a 2-to-1. But Chris, what if it goes back to this one? Well, then it goes back to that one. You know, well, we don't know which one it's going to go to, right? This one is closer to an ADR checkpoint, right? But we're in full upswing here. We're in full upswing here. And right here, here's your curve zone. Okay, that's why we want to be out before we hit that curve zone. That's 2-to-1. Just about, right? That is my assessment, everyone. Do you concur? Okay. So a little bit there, little overnight setups there. Pretty fun to do that. And we'll see if this works out in the morning. So all right, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. Little prep there. We've got plenty of room to go on this ATR, this average true range. We're only at 39%, and on the NASDAQ, we have the other one set up on the micro NASDAQ. We're at 46%. So we still have plenty of room to move to the upside there. We also have some confirmation entry candles there to the upside as well, looking good. All right. Beauty. We did it, Kazi. We did it. The very first Globex prep nighttime episode. I love it. All right, nighttime episode. Very cool. Where are we going to put this target here? Let's use the candles. Okay. Let's use the candles as the target. The body of the top of the body of the candles. Okay. There we go. All right. We'll see how it works out. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Take care, everybody. I will see you next time.